Up until now, we've been learning how to find good items, list them well, and ship consistently. That's enough to make money reselling, but scaling your reselling business is what can turn this from a hobby into a meaningful source of income for you and your family. Scaling is not about working harder. It's about building a system so you can handle more inventory with less chaos and grow your profits at the same time. Your goal here is to effectively organize your inventory and find ways to consistently source new products to sell. You also want to build repeatable listing processes and track some of the numbers related to your growth. Organizing your inventory so you don't hate your life. I know it sounds crazy when you're starting out, but if you don't organize your inventory as a bigger reseller, it can drastically slow down your business. You might start out by keeping stuff in the garage or an extra room in your house, but as your operation grows, you need to keep that area organized so you can quickly and easily find stuff when it sells. A good rule of thumb is if you can't locate an item in 30 seconds, your system is broken. So we're gonna build a system that makes it basically impossible to lose items. The simplest inventory that scales only needs 3 things: bins, a labeling system, and a way to connect the item to the bin. You can start with cheap, clear bins, storage totes, or boxes that you find lying around the house. You don't need some fancy warehouse setup. Label them simply like A1, A2, B1, B2. Then when you list an item, you can assign it to a bin location. Place the item in a bin and then take pictures with the Flipper app and add it to a bin with the same name. You can then group them by category, make notes about the item condition, and prep it for listing. This might look like bin A1, media, bin A2, clothing, bin B2, jeans. How much inventory should you have? Most people ask this like there's some magic number, but the real question is, how much inventory can you list, store, and ship without breaking your system? The truth is, inventory you don't list is clutter. Here's a guideline that you can use to help you figure out how much stuff to buy. Your inventory should match your listing speed. If you can list 5 items per day, you want enough inventory to stay consistent, but not so much that you drown. A simple target you can set is to have 1 to 2 weeks of unlisted inventory max. If you go beyond that, you'll start accumulating items and clutter that never go away. The other important metric to track is weeks of runway. This is how long you could keep operating if you didn't make any more money. If flipping is a significant part of your income, the amount of inventory you have is directly tied to how long you can keep supporting yourself as a reseller. Ask yourself, if I stopped sourcing today, how long could I keep listing daily? For most people, a healthy runway is around 1 to 2 months. Any less than that, and you're in danger of going out of business. If you have longer than 2 months of runway, you may start to accumulate clutter. In the beginning, reselling is about learning what to sell. Scaling a reselling business is about speed and consistency. Flipper helps because it compresses the slowest parts of reselling, which are what items are, understanding sales metrics like its actual price and sell-through rate, choosing what's worth buying, and keeping everything organized. When you're scaling your reselling business, you want to scan way more than you did as a beginner. That means scanning entire shelves, stacks, or bins of items. Your goal becomes to see more inventory per hour than the average reseller, because then you're likely to find more profitable items. As a beginner, you might ask, is this a good item to flip? But as you learn and scale, you start to ask, are these sourcing methods consistent? Is this category worth my time? What's my profit per hour? Starting to ask these questions early will help you think like a full-time business operator and help you find ways to optimize your own methods. Optimizing your sourcing. Consistent inventory beats lucky inventory. Though it's fun to find one crazy flip that earns you hundreds of dollars, the reality is the small and consistent margins are where you make your real money. As you learn more about different niches and what actually sells, look for repeatable ways to sell those items faster, and soon you'll be able to sell more of that item in the same amount of time. The profit per item may not be as good, but your quicker, consistent methods will lead to way more profit in the long run than targeting the crazy treasure finds. The best sourcing strategy is boring. Pick 2 to 3 sourcing methods and get super consistent with them. This could be 3 thrift stores that you rotate between every week, Facebook Marketplace bulk buys twice a week, garage sales every Saturday morning, 1 monthly estate sale route, or 1 liquidation or clearance lane if you do arbitrage. The goal is to take reliable inputs and turn them into reliable outputs. How to find your best sourcing spots. Track these 3 things: how much you spent, how much profit you brought home, and how many of those items sold in 60 days. Over time, you'll start to notice things about these places, such as some stores are good for books, but terrible for games. Some areas are loaded with clothing, but they're low on media. Some sellers on Marketplace are gold mines if you treat them right. As a reseller, you want to have some sort of rhythm for when you do all of the different parts of running your business. You'll have multiple days for sourcing items, but you probably want to dedicate time and even entire days to photographing and listing your items, organizing your inventory, and shipping out things that have sold. You can source every day, every other day, but make sure you're always shipping. A simple structure could be 2 days sourcing, 3 days listing, and shipping every day for a minimum of 5 days a week. If you do that consistently, you'll beat out most resellers. A lot of people do random bursts of effort and then disappear, but being consistent and doing a little bit every day will set you apart from everyone else and create huge profits. There's always more you can learn when you're reselling, but this will help